My, oh my, here we are again. New year into March. March 14th, the robins have been out for a while. So welcome to our Bible study time. But first, I want to offer you a new booklet that we have, and it's about communion. It is 48 communion messages from 1 Peter. You know, 1 Peter is one of the finest books of the New Testament. So this book will add good Bible understanding to your Lord's Supper time. And it's going to honor Jesus even more. So $13.25. We'll bring this to you. Just check your options below and you will not be disappointed. I guarantee you that with this colorful book. So we're into Exodus still, chapter 15, and we've got several questions for you to listen to and answer if you can before Nancy does. Chapter 15 of Exodus. Number 1, Moses and Israel now sing a song. What was that song about?
Well, it was about the triumph of God, and they sing about, "The Lord is my strength and my salvation."
This was just after that incident, if you can just call it that, of crossing the Red Sea. My, what a time. And when they got on the other side and they saw all those dead soldiers and nothing left pursuing them, they were a happy people. So they started singing, and I guess that's the thing that you do. Next, what woman led the women of Israel in song here?
Miriam, she was the song leader, I guess.
Sister of Moses, and she took charge. Next, Moses now leads Israel into what section of the wilderness? What did they call it?
They called it the Wilderness of Shur.
Wilderness of Shur. We've jumped quite a number of verses ahead because, well, you can read that song that they sang on your own, and there's a lot of good thoughts in there of how God delivers, and He still delivers today. And we're still crossing our own little Red Seas here and there. So as they moved on into the wilderness of Shur, what dilemma did they face here?
Well, they found out there was no water.
No water. Well, what's new out here? What encampment did they come to next?
A place called Marah.
Marah. Moving a little from place to place, and of course the days are passing by. And the important thing is water, so now at Marah, yeah. What did they find about the water here?
Well, now they found out the water was bitter.
Yes, indeed. My, oh my. Verse 25, and he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree that they did something with. Do you know what that was ahead of time? Well, so they found out the water was bitter. Did the people murmur again?
Oh yeah, greatly.
Yeah, they knew how to. You know, you can get in a habit of complaining. Have you ever thought of that?
Well, even
And
I
they were
might have murmured.
Well, who knows? What was God's answer for the situation of this bitter water?
Well, God had He had a real different kind of solution. He said, "Moses, here's a tree. Throw that in there."
Yeah, I wonder how big it was. We've seen in videos this place of Marah, and there is a cemented up circle around the well, and I've wondered over the years as tourists come by how many threw a stick in there and how full the well's getting because of this biblical story. So God, you know, I've noticed in these things that God always has people do something. He could have sweetened that water from heaven, but he proved them, tested them, and had them do something, and obedience to him. So that was the answer. What promise did God give to Israel if they would completely obey him?
Well, a really nice one. He said, if you'll obey me completely, I will not allow any of these diseases that I put on Egypt to come on you people.
Yeah, kind of like the rainbow promise, wasn't it? Well, we could hope so. But they had to obey God. I hope in our study of the Old Testament here that we are beginning to see how God works with us and tests us to see if we're going to obey. And he's still doing it today. All the different issues of life and the scripture instruction. You know, the thing that really proved Abraham later on was how well he obeyed God. And it's still proving us today. So keep that in mind as you move through the Bible. God is a God who wants us to mind him. And that's why in the New Testament it said we ought to obey God rather than man. That's where the pressure comes from. Pressure from man to do what the world wants you to do. But we are to obey God first of all. What place did they travel to next?
A place called Elim.
Elim. Yep. And the last question is this: what did they find and experience here?
Well, it must have been like heavenly, because there was 12 wells of water and 70 trees for comfort.
Yeah. What a place to come to. Of course, God knew they were going to come to this. He stopped them off of Marah to test them. And now here, verse 27 of chapter 15, and they came to Elim, where there were 12 wells of water and 70 palm trees. And they camped there. I guess I would put up my teepee and stay a while. Anyway, we've seen this too in the videos that we've watched. Ray Vanderlyn, good set of faith lessons, and he brings us to this place, and you can see the palm trees and all those wells. But you know, think of 12 wells to service over 500,000 people. That still would be an accomplishment. So that's chapter 15. Some good lessons, think about them, and you can do a whole lot of Sunday school teaching from even one chapter. What do you think of that?